How much? The big question, the hard question. What do you do when somebody asks you how much money do you charge? Lucky for you, you're in my course on how to make your first 1000 bucks from content, and I'll tell you exactly how to answer this question perfectly. Hi, my name is Jordan Parker. I'm the guy who creators come to when they need to scale their business, or when they're annoyed by social media stealing all of their money. It's always one or the other, I don't know why. Today we're answering the fourth buying question, the how much question, one of the hardest questions to answer. And for this, I suggest doing something very extravagant, very dangerous even. And this is just to say your price. But even though this sounds simple, most people are still not doing it. So we'll have a few things to discuss here as well. First and very obvious question here is, sure, but what the hell should my price be? And this is a question that I cannot answer for you because I need to know your market to answer it for you. But the answer is exceptionally simple to get. What you do is called basic market research. You want to see how much people who are offering the same service charging, and you want to stay roughly in that same range. And you want to start in the lower end of this range. It is pretty much as simple as that. To find out how much other people are charging, you can ask AI, you can Google a little bit and see how much other people have paid for similar services. Facebook groups and Reddit are good places, you can check that. And of course you can go to people selling those things and just ask them. They will tell you, they're not shy about it. It's not a secret, so you can very much do that. The whole philosophy behind that is simple. You want to start with the price that the market expects, because price is always determined by two things. What do I expect to pay for this? I know a book, for example, is like 10-15 bucks, and I would expect to pay 10-15 bucks for my next book. If you're selling me a book for 5,000 bucks, I will be very curious why, and I'll be far less likely to buy, because you need to be doing a lot of work to actually get me to buy it. But the thing that trumps expectations that you will not have enough of is just demand. If there is a shit ton of people wanting your service, you can charge more, and that is not relevant to the market. If you have 1,000 people asking you to do something for them, this thing can usually cost 5 bucks, and you can charge 5,000 for it. This is how luxury brands are made. Basically, they are selling the same shit that everyone else sells. And I know half of the luxury clothing is made in Bulgaria. Like my grandma was making Louis Vuitton and that kind of crap, and in that same store they made the Bulgarian stuff that costs like 50, 100 times more. And she only swapped the labels. It really doesn't matter. To start with, when you have no demand at all, you just start with what the market expects. You don't need to be fancy here. But after you have that initial price, you need to do two things. You need to make sure that this price actually works for you, because you might need to change it, and I'll teach you how. And also you might need to do something very much taboo in the creator space, but that can make you a lot of money. So I want to cover that as well. Before we get to that though, I want to invite you to join Creator Income. I just finished the new landing page. It's absolutely fantastic, and it is one of the best, if not the best place for creators to learn how to scale their business. I'm spending way more time than any sane person thinking about scaling creator businesses, so everything that you'll get there is high quality stuff. If that sounds cool, link below. Otherwise, step number 2 of your pricing is have a practical approach. And I mean very practical. You set your price, you offer it to 20 people, and if all of them say no, you're probably pricing yourself too high. And a lot of the time your pricing will not be too high for your service, but it will be too high for your skill to actually sell and close deals. Because if you lack the experience in sales, you'll give people a bad impression on what your service is, that you reduce its perceived value, and they will be willing to pay you less money. That's fine. You shouldn't be trying to hack this by trying to force people to pay you a lot more money and trying to stick to your prices and all of that jazz. Just lower your price and get sales going. The more people you sell to, the more people you deliver to, the more confident you are and the more practiced you are in sales, and the more money you can get from sales. So it doesn't matter what kind of a price is fair, just get a price that people are willing to pay. Start from the market and then lower it until you start getting sales. You want to be closing 20 to 40% of every single conversation you get into. About 30%, like the middle of that, is probably perfect. That means you're not closing every single deal. That means you're too cheap, and that means that you're closing some deals, a good chunk of them even. That means that you're not too expensive. So you just do your thing, you try to sell to people, and the market tells you how much you should be charging. You don't need rocket science to get this information. And finally, the last part, the taboo of every single creator, the thing that no one wants to talk about and no one wants to do, but it is so damn profitable that you should be doing this. Or at least you should be considering doing this. Even if you're not doing a great job at it, give it a shot. The only thing this can do for you is just make you more money or not do anything. There's only upside. This thing, hopefully, obviously, is negotiation. You go into a sales call, you say your price, the other person closes up and is like, ugh. What do you do then? You don't try to convince them, but look, this is very good for you and I will convince you that I'm very good and you will get money back, a very good guarantee. You don't do this. This is stupid. What you do is you say, okay, fine, I can see that you're not ready to invest in this. How much money do you think it's fair for you to pay for this? Because I started recently, I really want to get some case studies and I really like how this discussion is going and I think you'll be a great customer. So tell me what price is going to be a no-brainer for you. And then, believe it or not, people will tell you how much money they want to pay for this. Sometimes they'll say a price that is so low that you'll be like, oh no, that's way too crazy. But very often they'll be reasonable and ask for a 20-30% discount, which early on you should absolutely, definitely always give because you need the experience more than you need the extra few $100. So focus on getting the sales pipeline moving. The moment you have sales, which means you have demand for your work, then you can actually get picky with who you work with. Then you can get picky with how much you're charging. Then you can get picky about whatever else you want once you have a line of people waiting for you. Before that, just get that line of people. This is your most important thing. You will have access to better customers, better deals, and better conditions and everything once you have a lot of people wanting your service. Before that, just do the work that you get because that's going to give you money, scale, and leverage. And that's what you're looking for early on. And yeah, that was everything actually. We have one more buying question to cover, which is, should I buy this now? And we'll talk over this in the buying triggers video. You can find the link to that below. And we don't have that much extra content after that, so we're almost done with the whole thing. Pretty cool. So I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.